You've been eating clean, you've been doing 10,000 steps a day, and you've probably been counting calories, but you found out that your weight won't even budge. It's not that you are broken, it's just simply that your body doesn't trust you anymore. Let me explain. I'm Modi. I'm a personal trainer who runs his own personal training studio, and I help people on a daily basis to lose fat, get stronger, and reclaim their energy. Today I want to share why Fiona wasn't losing weight and how we helped her to finally start losing weight after years of frustration. And to be fair, weight loss it's quite simple. It's not always easy, but it may look opposite on what you really think about fat loss. One of the problems that we faced with Fiona is that she worked with trainers before and she was looking at a lot of online advice, which eventually led to chronic undereating. Because people has been saying to her, including trainers, to basically eat less calories, and move more. However, she hit the ceiling and she couldn't lose weight anymore. When she came to me, she was like, I'm gonna give this a go. If that doesn't work, I'm quitting and never touching fitness again. So imagine how frustrated she was and how many steps she already took and failed in the process. One of the first things that I do when I hear that from people, I'm like, just send me your diet, what you're eating. And I don't ask people to write down and send calories, just simply take some pictures, send me what you're eating. I need to get a better picture of what your day-to-day habits look like, because we need to develop intuitive eating habits. And for me as a coach, it's much easier to advise if I see what's on the plate. And if we can just change some habits of the person, then we can start counting calories. But I like to approach things one step at a time. And what I've noticed once Fiona started sending the diet, that she doesn't eat much. It was roughly 1,100 calories. And those 1,100 calories is not enough to fuel your body despite what height or weight you are. It's just simply, like if we take Fiona, for example, she's nearly 6 foot. Like no one who's close to 6 foot should be eating 1,100 calories for weight loss. And because she did that for a long period of time, what has happened, her body has gone into what we call starvation mode. What happens is when your body is going into that mode, it starts sparing muscle. Basically, it starts getting rid of muscle, but not in a way that to just get rid of it for the sake of getting rid of it. It's more of a survival mechanism because muscle is metabolically sensitive tissue. It requires calories to maintain. If you're under consuming protein, your body needs protein to repair other tissues. So the most natural thing for your body to do is simply to take that protein from your muscle. On top of that, what happens? Your body starts really holding on to the fat. Because if we go back in history and you think about it, most of our evolution was based on not having enough calories to eat. So you want to preserve energy, and we store body fat just to preserve energy. So we can take it later when we need to. And once that happens, it takes a little bit of time to restart your metabolism. And it's not an easy process because psychologically, it's very counterintuitive to what you have done before. However, in this case, I had a little helper on my side, which I have never met. Fiona's son is really into sports. Funny enough, he's going and training in the same martial arts academy that I used to train 5 years ago. And coaches over there are really good in terms of giving diet advice. So because Fiona's son is very keen, I was telling to Fiona that you need to eat more. And you need to eat more protein in particular because you started to add resistance training. So you need to provide that fuel for the muscles, but also you need to rebuild some of that muscle that you have lost, and that's due to aging and undereating. So me saying that and then her son constantly battering, we got her to eat a lot more protein. And the feedback is always funny. When you get the person to eat enough protein, I always get the same feedback. It's, Modi, I cannot eat anymore. I'm still full from yesterday. That makes me laugh. But that's a good indicator that you're hitting enough protein because protein also promotes satiety. It takes a long time to digest. And because it takes a long time to digest, you're obviously not as hungry anymore. So you kind of almost have to force feed yourself. Once she started eating the right amount of protein, we started seeing some positive changes. Not on a scale. First changes that has happened, her hair started falling out a lot less, and her clothes also started feeling a lot better, because what was happening, she was starting to lose some body fat while also building muscle, and that just shapes our bodies nicer. So even if the scales doesn't change, it's a good indicator. If your clothes are looser, you weigh the same weight, it's actually an amazing thing. You exchange that body fat for muscle. And for time being, we avoided the scales. But funny thing, Fiona has an interesting husband who actually bought scales for everyone over the Christmas. We had a lot of jokes around that. As bad as it may seem, it was a good thing. Instead of being scared of the scales and trying to avoid me every single time that I tried to weigh her in, she actually started checking weight on her scales herself. And then she started seeing some positive changes. She did lose 3 kilograms. Keep in mind that individual that I'm talking about is not severely overweight. It's just someone who could look a lot better and feel a lot more confident if they would lose around 8 kilograms. So if you lose 3 kilograms, you're nearly there. And if you put some muscle, that's phenomenal. So what you have to understand that this process wasn't easy, and it took a lot of time. And it also took a lot of convincing from my side and from her son. But that's why I'm sharing this, because this is an example that I came across that proves that weight loss is not always about eating less. Sometimes it's more about eating the right thing. Now, I cannot tell you which camp you are on, but if you're watching this video, you've probably been struggling with weight loss. So one thing I would like to say to you, after watching that video, go and weigh yourself, and then whatever the weight comes out, based on that weight, try to hit 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if I'm 105 kilogram male, I need to eat around 230 grams of protein per day to make sure that I'm feeding my muscles, especially if I'm doing resistance training. And you'll notice how hard it is to consume that much protein. You'll find that you're not craving any random foods anymore. You're generally a lot fuller, and your body will feel a lot better. Because even if you don't train, funny enough, eating high protein diet will have a muscle sparing effect. The reason why I'm saying that, it's not going to be easy. It might take you a month, it might take you 3 months, it might take you 6 months, depends on the situation that you are. But you have to start focusing on increasing your protein and doing that for a longer period of time. And if you stick to it and maintain consistency, finally you will start seeing results. So start taking pictures, take your weight, check how your clothes fit, take pictures, and then do that every few weeks to see if you are getting any progress. And the key is actually trying to stay as consistent as possible for a long period of time, even when things get hard. And if you're not sure what to do and you know that you're struggling with accountability, there's no better solution than hiring a coach. So click the link down in the description, let's have a chat, and let's see how I can help you to achieve your fitness goals. Because we all need some accountability, that's a normal thing. Look, I'm joining mentorship programs, so I keep recording these videos. That's my accountability. That teaches me how to do social media better and kicks me in the bum when I get too comfortable. Same applies to everyone, so I'm a deep believer in coaching. And if you need some help, you ask for some help. I hope you enjoyed this video, and YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this one. Let me know down in the comments, what have you been struggling with when it comes with weight loss, and I will try to build the best video that I can around that.